Vinney Chopra, a man who took $7 to a portfolio of over $250 million in apartment investing. He mentors and coaches to make apartment syndication easy. Each week, he will share his expertise, tricks, trades, and golden nuggets how to master the art of syndication to bring cash flow streams to your business, to change your life for the better. Here is Mr. Smiles.
Hi guys, welcome to Syndication Made Easy with Vinney Chopra and Alicia DeBrowell. You know Vinney Chopra as Mr. Smiles. Mr. Smiles is one of the top syndicators in the U.S. to date. He's definitely top notch in the business. He is also, by the way, congratulations, Mr. Smiles, a #1 international best-selling author. Even now, this has been like, what is this, like the third or fourth week?
Fourth week, I think.
#1, yeah. Which is pretty cool. It's a brand new book. It's called, it's my journey from $7 to, it says $250 million portfolio, but I think your portfolio is worth
over $300 million now. Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. Definitely go check it out on Amazon, and I'll make sure the link is here in the show notes. And obviously he's got a really good story, he goes through his story in the book. We also, cover it here on the podcast. And each week, this podcast is about him giving the information that he has an academy where his students, they pay thousands and thousands of dollars to learn the information that you guys are going to get right here on this podcast each and every week from Mr. Smiles himself, which we totally appreciate, and thank you very much. And I will be definitely digging out any questions that you guys have. If you guys have any questions about syndication, leave them here in the show notes, and I will get them from Mr. Smiles, each week. Thank you so much, Mr. Smiles, for joining me and educating us on this.
Alicia, it's such a pleasure. I'm so psyched up. Early morning here in California near San Francisco. Wanted to let everybody know I live in Black Hawk, Danville, on the east side of the Bay. And I hope you will see me in some of the beat-up groups that I'm going to be presenting in Silicon Valley, in San Francisco. I'm going on a road show. And maybe by the time this comes, it will be already gone. But I'm here hiding out to Houston, Dallas, Michael Blank show. And then, of course, Boston, New York, New Jersey. So it's an exciting 10 days tour. And I'll be signing my book also and all that.
Yeah, no, I know it's going to be an definitely an exciting trip for you, and especially because now your book is so big. I think that's going to be great. All right, yeah, so it's going to be really exciting, you going out and hitting all those different locations, especially with your book being so big. That's so cool. That's so
cool. Thanks to you, Alicia. I'm so glad. I mean, you were the energy behind, to launch it, and I'm so tickled. I'm so tickled and appreciative that your professionalism, and you knew how to bring it out into the social media and all over the press releases and everything. I never thought about those things, so thank you, and I'm so much excited to have you on my team. And we're going to continue doing lots of great things with John coming on board, and we're going to really crush it. Yeah.
Definitely, and it's a pleasure. The pleasure's mine for sure. And I couldn't have done it if you didn't have the content and the following. And so, I mean, seriously, like you had such a story. It was easy to work with. So
thank you. I don't want to take a little bit of time, but a lot of people are telling me, Vinney, oh my gosh, it's so easy read. It just breaks down syndication in simple terms, and as if you're talking to me. Things like that, and very encouraging book. That's the other part I wanted to mention. A lot of people are saying that, it's not just a syndication made easy, but you keep on pushing and you are asking us to do certain steps and things like that. So I hope people like them. And
it's totally true, because I have to tell you this and be completely straightforward. When I first started doing the syndication podcast with Vinney, I had just started working with the book also, and I had not read the whole entire thing. But between now and then, between when I started and now, I have read the book. And now, before I'd have to write notes and be like, okay, this means what? And syndication, like I know about real estate, but I didn't really know about apartment syndication. I know how to flip houses, and I know about the typical transaction and stuff like that. but I didn't really know about apartment syndication and just all the steps that were to it and all that stuff. And he just broke it down so easy. But now I don't even need notes to really, you know what I mean? I can just kind of, I can go through the book and be like, okay, yeah, I remember that. Okay, let's go.
He highlighted, huh?
I don't even need that because I've read it and it sticks in my head. So it's definitely something you pick up and you read, it's going to stick with you. So that's awesome. All right, so I really want to talk about the buyer's market. Last time we talked about the seller's market last week. And now I want to dig into the buyer's market because it's really important to understand when to invest, when not to invest, when to sell, when not to sell. So talk to me about, first of all, let's go back to what the difference is between the buyer's and seller's market.
Totally, Alicia. The seller's market is when, just like it says, the upper hand is by the seller. There is less supply, but too much demand. So a lot of people are asking to buy the same multifamily, 15 units, 20 units, 100 units, 200, 500 units. So the seller is having an upper hand. They can command the cap rate to be smaller cap rate, lower, because the valuation will be higher then. They can also command more like best and final. What that technique is, they ask several people to tour the property, of course, but then they are able to ask them to give bids. And then they choose from the top 10 to maybe 4 or 5, then ask them to compete again between the 4 and 5 to make it even higher price of purchase. Then they choose 2. I've been through that. I've been through it, and they just, like this, they want the buyers to fight like bulls and then pay higher and higher and higher price. So last year, and even to some extent this year also, it's been a seller's market in USA. That's 2018 and 19. I'm talking about. This will be archived. So this is going to be in 2020. You will say, what is the heck Vinney's talking about? So it's 18 and 19. And what has happened is the demand is so high for buying the product or the multifamily, which is in where we are. Commercial also, I don't know too much about office space and, strip centers and this and hotels. I only concentrate, tunnel vision. Just in what I've been doing for 14 years is where I like to stay, which is multifamily. So now let's go to the buyer's market. It's just the opposite. So when it's a buyer's market, which is going to come, by the way, adjustment is coming in 2020, mid-2020. People are thinking there's going to be some adjustment. It's been a big bull, we call it, in the stock market from 2008, 8 crash, all the way now, 11 years of bull. Usually the bulls don't last that much. The bears come in the stock market and economic downturns and things. The factors are very different right now. So I don't predict a big correction, especially in the multifamily. Those of who are listening to me, I've been through the cycles myself, in this real estate, because I've been investing for over 35 years. And I've seen my single family homes go from 65,000 guys to 315,000, 5 times. I have mentioned it in some of my podcasts. We refinanced it, got 3.50 loan or whatever, invested into more homes. And that's how everybody does, But the thing is, the buyer market means there is buyers. There are a lot of a buyer's market. Hold on. There is a lot of supply. Okay. That's when the buyer market comes. When there is a lot of supply, a lot of sellers are selling their multifamily and there are few buyers. Okay. Now the equation is changed, right? I'm an engineer. So equation is reverse, like we call it. We have so many sellers who are trying to sell, but then there are few buyers. Now the buyers can dictate their terms, okay? And that is what might happen. With the downturn, maybe some of the interest rates are higher, some payments are coming due, divorces happen, people die, partnerships break up, all those things. It may be quite a possibility that in certain markets, there is more glut. We call it glut, more product, and there are less buyers in that particular MSA or tertiary markets. But that's where it's a buyer's market. Then the prices go down. When the buyer is upper hand, they want to pay as less as possible. When it's seller's market, seller wants the prices to go up. So that's the distinction. Why is like that? See, the buyer's market is the time when the economy kind of goes down. In other words, the rents might go down, the NOI, net operating income goes down, things like that. And then the seller says, oh my gosh, I need to sell. And if there is a very drastic change in the economics of that MSA, metro area or tertiary market, then a lot of sellers will say, oh my gosh, I need to get rid of it, right? That's when the glut comes in. And that's when the buyers, the million maker, we call it, a lot of gurus call it different things. If you buy in the buyer's market, that's the best place. Buyer's market too, actually. We call it when it's ready to kind of come back up again. That's when to buy. I hope I explained it, to you all, and you can kind of listen to me and kind of look at that curve in your imagination, and you can see that it's the downward turn of the curve pendulum that is going to go up. So that's the buyer's market. Great time to buy is in the buyer's market because you pay a price. Sure.
You want to buy the one that's at the worst possible scenario for somebody who has the property and who's sitting on it, right? So if I own the property and I see it's taking a loss, rents are going down, holy crap, all this money is owed. I already have, I bought it on the upswing, so I may have had a higher interest rate, right? Now interest rates are dropping, so I need to either get out or refinance,
exactly.
Right? So then, something may have happened or whatnot. So now if I'm an outsider and I'm a buyer and I see the weak spot, I can come in. Yes, I may have to eat it for a minute on the downturn, but on the upswing, it'll be worth it.
Totally. Alicia, you summarized it so well. So well. It's so true because many times we have seen in our, new product coming into the country, into USA in different MSAs, many of them are built in 73s or 87s or 84s. So there are certain years we have seen more of the product come in. And when the loans expire, just like you said, notes are due. I purchased this property right there in Atlanta because the seller had notes due on 3 properties, 2 in Atlanta, 1 in Orlando. I wish I had bought his Orlando one. I bought the one over there and, but I wish I had bought. I'm very bullish on Orlando, at this time. And we just purchased 52 million one, as you all know, in Orlando. And we are just putting an LOI on a 75 million one, by the way, going out tomorrow. So, we are kind of moving forward. But the thing is, it's a combination of the two. It's a sellers and buyers both. Sellers are dictating a little bit higher price. It's still seller's market. So I do want to mention that if you're able to get the numbers work in very stringent underwriting, that's the word, underwriting, the numbers have to be not just a quick underwriting, guys. Do not fall prey to that. I mean, if you want to spend money, millions of dollars to buy an apartment, take more time to analyze the deal. I hate it when other people are saying, hey, just put 5 minutes and put an LOI. 5 minutes of analysis is nothing. Spend some time if the neighborhood is correct, if the year it's built is correct, if it's got some less deferred maintenance, it's got some, lower, what's called the differential in the market rent and the present rent, those 4 factors, then go ahead and analyze it deeper and then put an LOI. So we are finding some deals now, even though it's a seller's market, Alicia.
I was going to ask that. Why are you buying right now if it's
exactly.
a seller's market?
June 27th.
How are you buying deals? How are you making money? How does that work?
I know. 3 weeks back, we just bought 52 million. Myself, Monil Investment Group, and Enzo Multifamily, my partners, very great people. We bought it together and we are going again together to buy this 75 million one because we feel that this market, Orlando, right now, I know you will be listening a month or so from now or whatever, but the thing is, that what I was going to say was Orlando is 3 years behind Dallas.
Oh.
What has happened to Dallas, guys? Everybody. I mean, Dallas Fort Worth is where it is now. A lot of other markets are behind, and that's where the jobs are coming. We really like, that triangle, the Jacksonville, Tampa, and the Orlando market. So it's a combination of, buyer and seller. I wouldn't say it's a proper buyer market yet. That might happen mid 2020. So you would have actually heard me by then, and then get ready to raise money. Guys, if I can say one thing, if you get one pointer from me today in this podcast is you got to get your money ready. You got to get your equity money ready. You got to qualify for the loan for that product that you're going to buy. Just don't flounder. Just don't go and listen to so many talk show hosts and then don't take any action. What good is going to do for you? Nothing. Listen to me. Take action. And that's the only way to do it. Is to take massive action. So, yeah, please ask me some more, Alicia.
No, yeah, I know. And I like the subject. And I know on this one, I could go on and on and on, but I actually have two more questions I want to dig into. So I know that you guys kind of found a market that was a little behind everybody else. But what made you guys are making huge investments. So let's talk about maybe one of your students, because, I don't know. So if you're just joining us, Vinney, you can learn with him, you can invest with him, you can join his academy. There's lots of things you can do. You can go to VinneyChopra.com and check out all that. But if you're new into the business and somebody like maybe one of your students or maybe it's an investor and they're like, oh, I think I want to invest, but it's a seller's market. So why would I want to invest my money? You know what I mean? Well, what is making you guys want to invest your investors' money and your guys' time into a seller's market?
Very good point, Alicia. You hit a nail on the head. A lot of students have asked me in my academy and otherwise also, should I be outside the market, right? They say, should I just wait on the sideline, and then when I find it's a buyer's market, I'll jump back in? And my answer to that is no. Don't do it, because you never know when this opportunity will come. At this time, people are closing deals because it all depends on the motivation of the seller. When their multifamily is going to be brought out in the open, through the broker or through directly talking to this, owners like that, out-of-state owners and things like that. A lot of things happen. So there are possibilities. Last year was very bad. I mean, everybody wanted to buy. They were overpricing. They were buying them. Even maybe now also some people are overpricing. We know them. But the thing is, we got to always keep in mind that you got to stay in the market, Alicia. You got to keep the business going, the relationships with the brokers going, because they will not pick up the phone and call you, by the way. When they have a good deal, off-market deal, they're not going to call you if you're not
active.
So you got to keep up with the, brokers, your attack. You want to be in the market to get these deals. So they are there far in between, I would say. In certain MSAs, there are more deals than others. But the big thing is stay in the market, and then have your equity ready, have your money ready. Because if your money is ready, you can jump at it and then pick up the property.
Okay. So it's being ready, because you never know the situation and people's circumstances.
I would love to say, Dumel, I'm going to give him accolades in my master coaching last week. I'm very proud of him. Young man.
Who? I'm sorry?
Orlando, Dumel.
Okay. I haven't heard of Dumel. I've heard of Finland. I haven't heard of Dumel.
Tremendous. He's putting an offer for 22 units right now and 34 units. He just started learning from my academy about 3 or 4 months back. He's going places. He's so focused. He gave a presentation last week. On Monday, one of his contacts said, hey, Dumel, looks like, he invested in Bentley too, by the way, in that 52 million. He invested his money and he let people know, hey, we just closed on this one. So they invited him to speak at the local meetup group on multifamily. So he texted me, he says, Vinney, what should I do? So he put together a PowerPoint presentation. I was so proud of him. Next day, Tuesday night, he gave that presentation, had a standing ovation. And not only that, he got 5 investors from that meeting alone. So I'm so proud of the students who are really crushing it. Dylan Marma, my student, who just gives me so much accolade. It was him who joined my academy last year. And now they have around 1,000 units in 7 months, 8 months, 1,000 units. I'm so proud of, I mean, these people are crushing it, which is great.
We need to get a couple. Let's get Dylan and is it Dumal? Let's get them both on the show maybe next month. And also I wanted to get some questions that they have, some of your students have, because I think it's somebody that our audience is going to have some of the same questions.
I love it. Let's do it. They would love to be. I'm pretty sure we could arrange some time. And Alicia, we can coordinate. I'll give you both of their information. Then we can
maybe do a three-way.
Yeah, three-way right there.
That way all 3 of us can sit on. I can drill them, drill you, and
I would love it. I think that will be a very different kind of podcast, which is what really started. A lot of people wanted me to do interview, a lot of other guests. I understand a lot of other guests will bring a value, but half the podcast is only talking about their laurels. And we might get one point. I like to believe in techniques and things. So I think that'll be a great idea to invite Dylan and Dumel and some other students also. Sure. That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, okay. I love to always end our calls with the nuggets of advice from Mr. Smiles and the subject that we're on. Today we're talking about the buyer's market. So, Vinney, what would be your number one nugget of advice for somebody just getting into this, or maybe somebody's just experienced in the syndication world who is looking, they're looking to, it's not a buyer's market right now. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what is your nugget of advice about whether to hold out on it, for waiting for buyer's market, or where's your advice here on today's?
Surely, Alicia. Biggest thing I would like to tell anybody who's listening or watching me is that don't really wait for seller or buyer market. Let me put it this way. The reason is because they actually intertwine. It's like in certain MSAs around the nation, there will be seller and buyer at the same time, depending on which part of the city you're looking at. The other thing is also with the downturn, everything is going to go into haywire at all. It's going to be certain areas, where will be affected more than others. I think usually the northern sides, usually north, Chicago, Ohio maybe, but Cleveland, all those areas might be affected more. I find that. But in the downturn, the other part is if you're in the right markets, like in the Southeast or in Texas or in Phoenix or, Utah, all those places, things are not going to be as bad as people are saying and predicting. But the other thing is the interest rates are so low. They even went lower now, 3.52%. Alicia, this $75 million deal we are putting LOI on, our lender is telling us we're going to get 3.52%. These are the lowest interest rate times. And you lock in for 10 years, 12 years, 30-year amortized interest only. These are the best times. So don't worry. It's a seller's market, but the parameters are really helping the buyers also at the same time. So my nugget today would be stay in the market, build relationships with the brokers. You will find those nuggets if you're looking for them. If you're outside the market, nothing is going to come in your lap. It won't. So get your equity ready. Investors, meet with 3 investors every week. 3 investors, pre-established relationships are so important. We cannot just get a deal and then look for investors, guys. That's a no-no. Through the SEC ruling, it's a no-no. You cannot present a deal. Today you get a deal and you meet the investor. After you get the deal, you cannot show them the older deal. It has to be in the future. After about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever, 3 points contact, you meet with the investors, reach their goals and sit down, document it, and that's when you're able to present the deal that you get in the future, not in the past. I just want to give you that nugget.
Yeah, so definitely don't sit there and be stagnant just because the situation's not completely in your favor. I love it. All right, guys, you just got your weekly syndication golden nugget from Mr. Smiles, Vinney Chopra, #1 international best-selling author. Go check out his book on Amazon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. Feel free to, in the comments.
Oh my gosh, I forgot. Yay, I have one too, guys.
If you guys have any questions for Mr. Chopra, please leave them in the comments. We'll be sure to answer them. Oh, sorry, that was my phone that just went off. That was supposed to be on.
That's okay.
But definitely be sure, to like and comment and share this to your friends and anybody that's in the real estate world for sure, because the content that we're giving you here is gold for sure. And like Mr. Smile says, make it happen each day. You can reach Mr. Chopra at VinneyChopra.com. The link will be here on that website. You can either you can learn from him and apply to his academy. You can invest with him. You can partner with him. There's so much. Definitely go check it out. Vinney, thank you so much each and every week for all of your information.
Thank you, Alicia. And, if you'd like to just text, I know a lot of people who
that's right, yeah.
or like that, they could just text the word. If you would like to invest with us or partner with us, with my company and team, then please text the word syndication, 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 to 474747. Or if you want to apply for mentorship and be in the master coaching inner circle and look at my academy, which is so full of my lectures and everything and templates and PowerPoints and everything I've developed over 12 years, I give you access to that to make it your own. And that is text the word LEARN, 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 to 474747. And you can also reach my business advisor, John, John, John at VinneyChopra.com. That's VINNEYCHOPRA Chopra.com. Thank you, Alicia.
Yes, definitely. And I'll see you guys next week. And all of those links will be here in the show notes. Until next week, guys.
Thank you. See you next week. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.